Do you know what we're here for?
Equal parts. Oh my gosh.
Illegal.
Earlier this week, and they've all just, well, you'll see. They've all gotten quite a lot worse. Start with the line fire, which is near LA. It's in San Bernardino.
Inland Empire we go now. NBC4's Karma Dickerson continuing our coverage near Highland, where the line fire has burned more than 20,000 acres. Karma.
Yes, that line fire burned more than 20,000 acres and continues to force people out of their homes. Now, we did just get an update from CAL FIRE placing that number of acreage burned at around 23,000 acres. 5% containment, which is up from 3%, so that is good news. But they say they remain concerned that this fire could grow significantly within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah,
so
up to 5 from 3 is not great.
That are in place. Now, if you'll look just over my shoulder, you can see over the ridge line where we can see.
Like, up 2% in containment is not exciting at all. In terms of, like, sort of having any amount of optimism about slowing down this fire. Now, it's supposed to have already gotten cooler, and from what I saw, according to weather stuff that, filtered around, and all these sort of stories that I watch in California on a daily basis, does seem like it actually was cooler at the end of this week here, Wednesday, Thursday. But these fires still were burning. However, this is from Wednesday, I believe. Tuesday?
Ever so slightly over to the right-hand side of your screen, you can probably see some of the flames that are coming up. A lot of the.
Okay, so as you can see, 5% contained, 23,000 acres. That was 3 days ago. This is 2 days ago. KTLA 5.
Tense night for residents in the path of the line fire, burning out of control in the San Bernardino mountains, wondering if they'll be the next ones ordered to evacuate. The fire has already forced thousands to leave their homes as it rages across hillsides covered in dry brush.
KTLA's Sandra Mitchell is live in Yucaipa with the latest on the fire and also reaction tonight from so many anxious residents there. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Karine. Yeah, the latest is that Big Bear Valley is the big concern tonight. 17,000 people there now under an evacuation warning. The problem is this fire is moving in so many different directions. We're actually in Yucaipa. You take a look behind us, you might be able to see on that hillside there the faint glow. The fire now starting to creep in this direction. I told you about that evacuation warning in Big Bear. That is from the dam to Cactus Road. The fire, and we just got the update a few moments ago, is now at 25,000 acres plus. Finally, some good news to report, though. It is 5% contained. Not much, but it is 5% contained.
So that was the same news a day later, pretty much the same exact news. This was slightly later than that, where Gavin Newsom called in the National Guard to help firefighters
San Bernardino County,
fight the line fire.
Tonight are getting a helping hand from the California National Guard. Governor Newsom activating those troops today after declaring a state of emergency because of the fire. This is new video that you are looking at showing the National Guard heading towards the fire zone. NBC4's Darsha Phillips live in Mentone near the fire with more. Darsh.
Yeah, Robert, we saw some of those troops come by just about an hour ago. Right now, we are seeing a lot of smoke and ash in the air, and crews are worried that the winds may pick up overnight. And if it does, this is what the fire has to feast on. All of this thick, tall, dry brush that is just pure tinder for this fire. That's hot.
Exploding to nearly 26,000 acres with only 5% containment, the line fire in San Bernardino County continues to burn out of control, fueled by winds, high temperatures, and dry brush.
We're ready to go, and we got the warning yesterday afternoon.
Toby Bowler and his wife lived through the El Dorado fire and say they won't be taking any chances if they're ordered to leave.
I am concerned about the wind, period, because last time
it was fine, and then when it shifted, it was not fine.
Some who are under evacuation orders are choosing to stay, wanting to protect their homes from fire and possible looters.
I like my home. I've been up here all my life, and my whole family's up here as well. So we're going to take care of our hometown.
Officials urging people.
Right. Okay. Well, what happens when you're surrounded by fire and you're not a firefighter with a helicopter or something?
Heed the orders. They're expecting significant growth of the fire over the next 24 to 36 hours.
All of a sudden, the wind kind of picked up, and then it started coming this way, and then these past few days, it's just been smoke everywhere, and you can kind of see all of.
Now, if you all recall, when we first talked about this thing, it was 100 acres, and in a short period of time, because this was just a few days ago, and we only started talking about this over the weekend. This was, like I said, 2 days ago, so this was Wednesday. 25,000 acres, threatening, apparently, great deal of property, homes, 65,000 homes to be exact. Here's KTLA 5. This is also from, I think Tuesday night or like Wednesday morning, something like that.
Fire. There are now concerns that it could spread up into Big
Bear. It's
and the National Guard has
a.m.
been called in to help people in other communities evacuate. KTLA 5's Annie Rose Ramos has the latest.
That concern is what firefighters are focusing on and trying to do everything they possibly can in order to keep that.
She's like standing in the middle of a fire right now.
Mountain up into Big Bear. Now take a look here. This is why they are doing.
Take a look here. There's a fire happening right next to me.
Running Springs. They are trying to make sure that this back burn, is able to take away any fuel that the line fire could use to make it even bigger and move further up this mountain. Now over here, you're going to see a couple of trucks moving out, firefighter trucks moving out. They're going through a shift change right now. So these are all the firefighters that were in last night, worked all night long in order to start this controlled burning of this area. It's right up against some.
Okay, it's a controlled burn. I was being a little dramatic. You can see all the Foschem in the background there. Just go back like 5 seconds. You can see it like all along the highway.
Long in order to start this controlled burning.
Trying to create an entire area
right
to try and stop this thing.
They say this is what is going to help them. If they put this, if they put all of this brush through this burn, it's going to keep it from getting any bigger and moving up to Big Bear, which is what they don't want to happen. The National Guard in the past 24 hours moving in. Take a look at this, because this is what we saw overnight into the night hours. The National Guard, dozens of them. These are guardsmen moving into these.
I'm not still doing shorts right now, Jerry. Unfortunately, and I might start like editing to shorts from my regular stuff, but as of now, the shorts, like multi-streaming to Twitch, regular YouTube and shorts on YouTube, it was just causing too many problems. We were just encountering problems every fucking day. And I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just have good content and then just edit it. I know it makes people sad that we don't have shorts chat anymore.
Mountain communities, we saw it over with Eric Spillman at that fire too. Well, the governor issuing that state of emergency, allowing for more resources, including that to get over here. Those guardsmen being deployed, they're going to help with the evacuation of the communities. Like where I'm standing here in Rolling Springs, this area has been already evacuated.
Okay. Let's keep it moving here. This is from a day ago, so this is from Wednesday. The line fire was apparently, at least allegedly, started by a person intentionally, and that person has now been arrested. Let's go here to NBCLA to talk about that.
Now to the line fire. That blaze continues to burn in San Bernardino County. A 34-year-old man you see right there has been arrested on suspicion of intentionally starting this fire that has now scorched more than 36,000 acres. NBC4's Amber Frias joins us live from Running Springs with more. Amber.
Robert, that man arrested has been identified as Justin Helsenberg, and authorities believe he could be responsible for more fires. As you may imagine, people who have been impacted by the fire are frustrated and angry to hear that
No
news.
kidding.
Here in Running Springs, you
Frustrated?
can still see some smoldering
It's a fun word to
spots
use.
along the hillside. Now the visibility
I'd personally
has
be more
stayed
than
pretty
frustrated.
clear throughout the day, but as it's gotten later, it has gotten a little hazier. Not sure if you could see through the camera, but the smoke is pretty thick in the air. It irritates the eyes, and the longer you stay out here, the harder it becomes to breathe. Now, most people are gone, but we did speak with one man who has chosen to stay in his home. As the line fire tears through Running Springs, Ricky Garcia and his wife are finding solace in helping to provide snacks to the first responders helping to protect their home. The couple has chosen to stay in their home despite evacuation orders because they fear losing their home.
It's kind of difficult when they tell you to leave and you don't know anything about your neighbors, your friends, your home.
In 2007, the couple says they lost everything to a fire. When asked about the arrests made in the fire impacting their lives, Garcia can barely hold back his emotions.
I'm angry, upset, because it was also not necessary to put a lot of these people out of their homes.
Any of
and
them.
All these wonderful fire department and also the sheriffs and the police in danger for what?
The San Bernardino Sheriff's Department says they arrested 34-year-old Justin Helsenberg of Norco on Wednesday night after his car was registered by an automatic license plate reader. In a news conference, they said they believe Helsenberg acted intentionally and that he may be responsible for other fires.
This guy may be responsible for other fires. He may very well have been the person to start at least one of these other fires, although we do know the cause of at least one of the other fires that we're going to be talking about here. Still talking about shorts. Jerry hates shorts. I don't blame you. I'm not a huge fan of that medium either. I prefer long-form content in general. That's just me personally. Then I feel like you always just get less information on your screen on Shorts chat. Or like on Shorts, just like on that sort of frame. It just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. Alright, now let's go and talk about this. The last time we talked about this fire, it was tiny. And it was burning, it was literally, I think like 50 acres. I think we literally just mentioned it. Like offhand, I think I mentioned it at the end of our coverage of fires in California. I was like, oh, and this fire here is burning like 50 acres. Well, now it's changed. Here's NBC LA again from 3 days ago. Trabuco Canyon brush fire burning away from homes. And that's what they were calling it, at least when we first started talking about it. It was a brush fire in Trabuco Canyon. Since then, it's been renamed as it's gotten a bit bigger.
Now at 4:30, wildfires and record temperatures. We're staying on top of the wildfires burning in our area.
We want to bring in Steve Concialdi. He is with the Orange County Fire Authority on the phone with us right now. Hey, Steve, thank you for talking to us. What can you tell me?
Thanks, Robert. Great news. The fire is burning away from Robinson Ranch. So it's burning uphill east, away from the homes. So all the people that live there that are trying to get back to their homes, we do have road closures throughout the area, so they're not going to be able to make it back to their homes, but their homes are safe. We have multiple aircraft as well as fire personnel on the ground. We have dozers. When the fire started at about 1 o'clock, we knew how hot it was, how dry it was, and it does get windy in this area. So we asked for numerous strike teams as well as aircraft and helicopters. and that robust response kept this narrow as possible, and it flowed up the canyon away from the homes. So that's great news for any.
It is good news. It is good news, technically. Gotta say, burning away from homes is always better than towards them. Have we already gotten to the polls? We did. We did. And there's not a ton of stuff out yet. That was our conclusion. Is that there's not a ton of information out. The changes so far, state by state, are pretty fractional, very fractional. And nationally, it's also fractional. It's like 0.2%. So far, Kamala Harris, I think, gained in the national polls. Aggregate 538 from before the debate. I was saying I think we're not going to see any, like, we're going to see a lot of polls like come filing in here over the rest of the week. Probably next Monday, I would say. Would be my guess when we start getting a bunch more polling data. I could be wrong. Let's go here. This is from 2 days ago. KTLA 5. Airport fire in Orange County grows to over 10,000 acres.
Let's start in Trabuco Canyon.
No, we're going to skip over that one. Let's go straight here.
5 massive wildfires are raging across Southern California, threatening homes and prompting evacuations as thousands of firefighters continue to battle the blazes. Good evening. You're watching the KTLA 5 News at 5. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Micah Ullman. Thank you for joining us. Wildfires raging out of control, burning tens of thousands of acres across Southern California, sending up plumes of smoke that can be seen for miles.
Thousands of people are under evacuation orders and thousands more are on edge, all as fire crews face hot temperatures and dry, rough terrain. Tonight, we have team coverage of these fires that are burning right now. Vera Jimenez has the latest on the hot temperatures and dry conditions. Sarah Welch is live in the line fire in San Bernardino County, and Rachel Menitoff is in Orange
I forgot this one
County,
hits all of
where
them.
the airport fire is
That's
burning
fine.
out of control.
Let's check in first on that airport fire. It has now burned over 9,300 acres.
And the fire is now spreading from Orange County into
So as you can
Inland
see, it's in
Empire. Gil
Trabuco
Davis is in Sky
Canyon.
5 with the
This is the
details.
same
Gil?
fire, but it's now 10,000
Yeah,
acres.
Sharon, Micah, we're climbing up over the top of this temporary flight restriction over the airport fire here. And now as I zoom in, you can see all the smoke that's pouring out of this canyon. It's continuing to burn out of control. In fact, this portion of the fire here that I'm showing you as I zoom in, this is the southern flank. It has made a big march away from Trabuco Canyon where it was burning yesterday. And this is headed towards the Ortega Highway. It has maybe 2, maybe 3 miles to go to get to it from this portion. We understand that the fire has already burned over the Ortega Highway on the east side, or the upper canyon there, and we're going to try to make our way around that side because we're hearing that there might be a home that caught on fire and there might be injuries involved in that. So as we continue to climb up overhead to about 11,000 feet, we are going to make our way to that side of things. But here's a look at the entire fire. In fact, this is where the fire started yesterday. As I zoom in here, you're going to see that Robinson Ranch area here just to the left of their screen, and the fire retardant drops that have saved that community, I should say, and the fire that raced up Trabuco Canyon all the way up to San Diego.
Well, that chemical fire retardant might look scary, but it does save lives when it's used properly and at the right time. We're discussing NCC now in chat. Okay. Are you banned on your blue account? That's very sad, Bad Lefty. That's a very sad story. Alright, let's go to here. This is a day ago. Guardian News. Time lapse shows airport fire raging through California's Santiago Peak. I honestly can't believe that these CCTV cameras even held up through this. This shit is wild. Watch this. Whoa. There we go. Someone's controlling this camera, just like looking around at the fire, I think. Jesus Christ. I wonder if somebody's in there. This is insane. Why is this not being my friend today? Alright, let's just go straight to this one. This is
Several homes have
airport
been lost
fire
as the airport
update
fire
from
spreads
17
from
hours
Orange
ago.
County into Riverside
No, a
County.
day
The
ago.
fire has now doubled in size, charring more than 22,000 acres. KTLA's Carlos Herrera is live this morning alongside Ortega Highway in Lake Elsinore with the latest for us. Carlos, good morning.
Hi, Jessica. Good morning. And yes, that current number, about 22,000 acres burned so far, but that number expected to increase throughout the day. We're alongside Ortega Highway, right at the base of the mountain, right at Grand Avenue, where we're seeing Riverside County fire crews on what they call structure protection here at the base of the mountain. About 4 miles up this road north and into the mountain is a community called El Carrizo Village, which suffered a lot of destruction overnight, as we saw a lot of active flames. Let's get you over to some pictures to show you the destruction. That community got the brunt of it overnight after the fast-moving flames jumped Ortega Highway, crossing over into Riverside County, torching dozens of homes and vehicles in the area. Sky 5 was also overhead the Decker Canyon neighborhood, where several structures were destroyed, though it's unclear how many. The devastation is evident. Officials say many people are without homes this morning. Ryan Lamoth is one of them. His home off of Ortega Highway was destroyed. We spoke with him from his motel in Temecula.
We're just like surrounding it.
This is from that same fire that was supposedly not threatening any property.
So I guess that's where it got really scary, because there was no more exit anymore. I mean, it didn't feel like, you just had to drive through the flames to get out at that point.
The airport fire started Monday
it's not a
afternoon
good
in
spot
Orange
to be
County's
in.
Trabuco Canyon, fueled.
You don't want to be having to drive through flames to get places.
By thick, dry brush. It moved in a few different directions and dangerously close to homes. More than 600 firefighters are continuing their suppression efforts on the ground as numerous helicopters and air tankers tackle the fast-moving flames from overhead. Their main focus is to protect the dozens of homes that are still in danger. Several neighborhoods in both counties.
Oh my God, it barely did anything.
Many others are under evacuation.
Oh my God. That's a depressing image, watching them just dump all that water on it and still just have there just be a mountain of fire. Okay. We did that one. Let's go here. Here's yeah, this is also from a day ago. That was the 9 a.m. update from, I believe, must have been Wednesday. Yeah, that was the 9 a.m. update in California from Wednesday. Here was this. This was slightly after that. Apparently, at I think this was noon in LA. Yesterday, well, Wednesday, technically now, because it's Friday. It's Friday for many people now. Many people say it's Friday. Also, KTLA 5
right now
says that the airport fire burned over 23,000 acres by sometime Wednesday afternoon. I will hydrate. Thank you, Narwhal.
And the airport fire that began in Orange County's Trabuco Canyon has now spread into Riverside County near Lake Elsinore.
The airport fire has now swelled to more than 22,000 acres, burning homes, cars, and brush.
We just heard from officials a short time ago about the progress being made. KTLA's Kimberly Chang is live above Lake Elsinore with more. Kim.
Hi, yes, Lake Elsinore right behind me here, and if we pan over, we can see the fire engines there. We saw firefighters laying hose earlier, really keeping an eye on this hotspot, and throughout this afternoon, we have seen aircraft, helicopters going to Lake Elsinore, filling up, and then coming and doing these water drops here to make sure that anything that's smoldering, any embers that are here in this area are put out, because that wind continues to change. Now, we did hear from officials earlier that this fire has now burned more than 23,000 acres. We walked through one of the hardest hit areas and we saw homes and cars burned. Firefighters told us to be careful because trees and power lines were also burned and could fall at any time. So just a very dangerous situation up here. The fire has destroyed an unknown number of homes in the hills of Lake Elsinore. The airport fire, which started in Orange County's Trabuco Canyon on Monday, has since spread into Riverside County. Dramatic video shows a wall of flames surrounding a campground in Los Pinos and surrounding areas early Wednesday morning.
The change in weather overnight slowed the fire's growth and empowered the ground and air forces.
The fire destroyed several homes in El Carrizo Village and Decker Canyon off of Ortega Highway. You could see dozens of scorched cars. The area was under evacuation orders.
The extent of which remains unknown at this time, as it is unsafe for our assessment teams to enter that area.
We've made every effort to minimize that damage, but sometimes there's not.
Look at the devastation.
So condolences go out to them.
Captain Paul Holliday with OC Fire Authority said the weather cooled off significantly and humidity has come up, giving fire crews an advantage. They'll continue to aggressively attack the fire from the ground and air. Fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters were doing water drops.
So it's not done, but it has at least subsided. And given the weather change, the firefighters a fighting chance here.
Crews on the ground were working on containment lines and mopping up in neighborhoods to try and prevent any more damage.
It's heartbreaking.
Any more
Paul
damage?
Kelly lives in the La Cresta neighborhood, miles away from where homes burned down.
I'm not trying to split hairs here, but can there be more damage?
Containment lines and mopping up in neighborhoods to try and prevent any.
Can there be more damage than this? I mean, what an image to land on right after saying more damage. I'm like, I don't see the more damage. Where's the more damage in this particular scenario? I guess that half-burned tree could be burned all the way down to the ground. Oh my god, it's Friday the 13th. Dun 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 dun. What does it mean? What will happen? Will it be good? Will it be bad? Stay tuned and find out. Okay. Your KTLA 5 again, 17 hours ago. Airport fire slows overnight, but still threatening homes. Whoops, what happened? Is this the wrong one? Whatever, we'll just watch this. It's fine. This is a time-lapse video showing the airport fire. Jesus. It's insane. It's the same size as the city, almost. You can see it all the way over here on the left, too. Just the flames aren't as noticeable. Okay. Time lapse. Watch the time lapse. Now we can go here. Now, I think we also talked about this fire, which was pretty small at the time. This is KTLA5 again from a day ago. Bridge fire in South California grows to over 34,000 acres with zero containment. This is from just a day ago.
But we begin with Sandra Mitchell live in Phelan with the latest on the exploding bridge fire. Sandra.
Yeah, Cher, sadly, the very latest is that we are losing structures and probably homes here in the Wrightwood community tonight. If you take a look behind us, you're going to see Highway 138 at the 2 highway. You see those flashing lights. That's because all the roads into the mountain communities are closed. We've got mandatory evacuations going right now. I'm going to have our photographer, Greg Theroux, spin the camera around, and we're going to show you this command post as they now strategize on how to get control of this fire that is really threatening the entire community of Wrightwood tonight. In a moment, we're going to show you the flames overtaking a popular ski resort. The moment I can...
It looks like a more like of a moderately organized huddle than a command post, but okay, I'll take it. They do have an RV and a table.
Toward where we are. Exploding flames in a race to evacuate near Wrightwood.
Oh my God, you can't see anything. It's just pure black. And we live in the canyon, so that fire's coming right in there and gonna take everything out of there. I got our dogs out. Our house is gonna burn.
In a gas station parking lot just outside the Angeles National Forest, we found Jenny Alanis.
Baby there, Kylo, and Honey. Honey's in the back. She's a pit bull. She's in the back.
And her 4 dogs safely evacuated, but worried about her house as flames from the bridge fire forced mandatory evacuations in Wrightwood and Mount Baldy.
We urge everybody to please take immediate action if you're in the fire area and leave when evacuation orders are set.
The fire exploding in size Tuesday night from several thousand to 34,000 acres as extreme heat and wild winds combine for really challenging conditions. An estimated 30% of residents still refusing to evacuate.
Please listen to the order. If we're asking you to evacuate, there is no property that is worth you risking your life.
It's a great point. There is no property that's worth risking your life. Although, we already saw a video of people who were willing to do exactly that.
Brandon Malam's aunt was just up the hill. He brought a horse trailer to help her rescue her horses and alpacas.
The fire's spreading so quickly. It's coming. It just crested over probably about an hour and a half ago, and now it's just moving rapidly. The smoke is crazy. That's not good for the animals or anything. With them outside, we definitely have to get them out as soon as possible.
But for many tonight, there is this sense
Jesus
of fear
Christ. What is that, a barn? Oh my God, no, it's entire...
No, and if you don't get out, you're going to burn, because there's only one way into the canyon and one way out.
So much sadness and apprehension here tonight. Let's go ahead and show you that video from Mountain High Ski Resort in Wrightwood, a really popular ski resort.
Oh my God, it's a chairlift right there.
Showing us the beautiful snowfall. Tonight, the resort camera is showing us the ski lifts there being engulfed by flames. I did just talk to a sheriff's official a few moments ago. He said he took a drive out there, and yes, he saw the flames ripping through that resort, but he told me that he did not see any of the structures there on the property burning. A fierce fire.
I don't know. Does a ski lift count as a structure? That appeared to be burning. You don't blame people for rescuing? I mean, of course not. But it's an incredibly difficult situation all around in terms of having to decide what to do, how much time to even thinking about what to bring, what to leave behind. And at least some of these circumstances, people have just moments notice. I mean, that Trabuco Canyon fire, the airport fire went from a few acres to 2,000 acres to 10,000 acres in about 24 hours. the San Bernardino line fire went same way, and the bridge fire is no different, unfortunately, and it got even worse than what we just saw right there. It was at 34,000 acres right there, and it continued to grow over the last 36 hours or so. Let's go here.
Dramatic images from the bridge fire that erupted above Glendora in the Angeles National Forest. It is now the largest active wildfire in California. It is now burning more than 49,000 acres in LA and San Bernardino counties. About 20 homes destroyed in Mount Baldy, along with 13 homes in Wrightwood. 6 cabins also went up in flames. And due to the impact of the fires, all snow-lined schools will remain closed through Friday. About 2,500 structures are still threatened right now. Authorities warning residents that additional evacuations could be ordered and that they should be prepared.
And preparing an emergency kit with essential items such as medications, important documents, and basic supplies. If you're in an area that is under an evacuation order, please follow directives from first responders immediately. Your safety is our highest priority.
And flames from the bridge fire advanced on the popular Mountain High ski resort, but Mountain High says all of its main lifts and buildings survived with little or no damage. And
that survived with no damage? Really? It doesn't look like it. Okay, I'll take their word for it.
Yeah, guys, we're on Cardinal Road in Wrightwood, and everyone here is under an evacuation order. And firefighters say that folks that live here moved out pretty fast, which then allowed firefighters to move in and protect these homes. But if you take a look behind me here, you'll notice that one of these homes wasn't able to be saved.
Yeah, we see that.
The unrelenting bridge fire scorching everything in the flames' way, including practically melting the skeleton of a Jeep into the ground.
So many of these houses that could have gone up.
Firefighters arrived here around 8:30 last night.
I'm assuming that wasn't a Jeep skeleton originally, probably just a Jeep.
They could.
This entire cul-de-sac was saved due to the actions of those firefighters last night.
Video from last night also shows the fire ripping through Mountain High Ski Resort. Today, a dusting of smoke covers the mountains. A post from the resort's social media account says, "Great news. All the main lifts and buildings survived with little to no damage."
Hey,
the bridge
we
fire
can
has
still
already burned
ski.
more than 47,900 acres with 0% containment. Wrightwood is under an evacuation order with no update on when that will lift. This man tells us he left with his pets as soon as he got the alert, but has no idea what he'll return home to.
Here's a question. How long until that ski resort can no longer produce snow due to all of the, climate changey stuff happening right now? Just a thought, just thinking out loud. Just thinking, just trying to keep it cheery. Alright, let's go here. NBCLA, 15 hours ago. Bridge fire burns over 50,000 acres in LA and San Bernardino counties. And yet, the fact is, all three of the fires that we're talking about are like essentially surrounding LA and threatening LA County in general, which is quite large. We don't have Sam. We should have Sam. We don't have a Sam. I'm writing it down so you get one next
A state
stream.
of emergency as these wildfires burn here in Southern California, out of control. We appreciate you joining us. I'm Adrian Arambulo.
And I'm Robin Winston. Combined, the bridge, airport, and line fires have destroyed nearly 110,000 acres so far. We have live team coverage of this wildfire emergency with reporters monitoring the conditions in real time for you. So let's get right to NBC4's Lauren Coronado live in Wrightwood, where the bridge fire is 0% contained. Lauren.
Robin, still no containment. I just talked with a firefighter who was on the fire lines overnight. I asked him how the firefight went.
Who does she look
He said
like?
that these temperatures certainly helped in fighting those flames. And at this hour, there are still a few orange glows in the distance, but it's just so smoky out here that it's really hard to show you. So I want to get straight to video captured overnight here in Wrightwood, where the flames are burning intensely. You can see in that video, that's just a glimpse at the firefight. Certainly not as bad as the previous night, though. Firefighters say about 40 homes and cabins have burned because of the bridge fire. It's the largest wildfire here in California. It sparked Sunday and is burning more than 50,000 acres across LA and San Bernardino counties. Some people who live in these mountain communities say the firefight they know is
I just realized who she looks like.
Behind her.
But it's like a combination of people. Hold on, we gotta go back. I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with what she just said. But tell me that this woman doesn't kind of look... Oh, son of a bitch. You're killing me. You are killing me right now. Wait. No. Oh, you bastard. She looks human. She does look like a human. This is so true. She looks like a human person. But tell me, I feel like she looks like Tommy Lauren and Lauren Boebert had a baby. You know?
Overnight here in Wrightwood, where the flames are burning intensely. You can see in that video, that's just a glimpse at the firefight. Certainly not as bad as the previous night, though. Firefighters say about 40 homes and cabins have burned because of the bridge fire. It's the largest wildfire here in California. It sparked Sunday and is burning more than 50,000 acres across LA and San Bernardino counties. Some people who live in these mountain communities say the fire
might be onto something. See?
Not over.
See, this is what I'm saying. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Behind her.
I was like, she just looks so familiar. I was like, she just looks exactly like two different people got mashed together somehow.
House is kind of unfortunate. They said they're holding the line up on top, which we hope that's true. We hope the winds don't shift. And, you know, we're still worried.
Understandably so. Now I want to talk about part of Mountain High Ski Resort, because part of it did catch fire.
That make her Lauren? Or Tommy Boebert? Tommy Boebert or Lauren?
For the resort says it's not clear how extensive the damage is, but lifts were burned to some degree. LA County firefighters, they say they were able to save the base of facilities at the East, West, and North resorts. The building and restaurant at the top of the East resort also survived. Resort officials say it's opening.
Oh, thank God this resort survived. It seems to be the main focus of the coverage, even though clearly a bunch of other buildings got burned down. Their main focus is, hey, at least the ski resort's fine. I know, Sam Cedar's missing. I think I mentioned that. And you're getting a rollover, Sam, because we're 3.5 hours in. It's probably not going to allow me to put him on there now. Because the stream software stopped being, well, super responsive. Alright, now, let's go here. Just kind of wrap this coverage up of the wildfires happening in California with a few different stories. These are all from Thursday, starting with this one from ABC News from 14 hours ago. Southern California under siege as wildfires rage near Los Angeles.
The wildfires in California, Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency in Los Angeles and San Bernardino counties as 3 major fires burn out of control. We have team coverage of the fires, beginning with Mola Langi, who's in Riverside County for us. Good morning, Mola.
Well, good morning, Robin. As you mentioned, 3 fast-moving fires spanning 4 counties, destroying dozens of homes. This morning, firefighters desperately battling to get the upper hand.
This morning, counties in Southern California under a state of emergency after forceful wildfires scorch over 100,000 acres near Los Angeles. In Riverside County, a car collection melted by the fast-moving airport fire. More than 19,000 residents there under evacuation orders.
The devastating airport fire forcing thousands and thousands of people to flee, some coming home to find nothing left.
We packed up the kids and got out of there. Not a couple hours later, we heard our house was just leveled.
Joe Caruso and his family lost the home he grew up in, built by his father in the 80s.
Just seeing the burnt out shell when the video passed over on the news was, yeah.
It's gonna be a rough way to find out.
In your heart.
Scorching.
That'd be like, right? Like you're sitting there watching on the fucking news and you find out just by watching on the news. That's a terrible way to find out. Just with everybody else. Just, is it just me or does that not feel just a little bit cruel?
Temperatures making this a complicated job for firefighters, but a cool down today hoping to aid the fight. In Highland, burnt land across the hillside. This home now just ash on its foundation. The line fire, with more than 36,000 acres burning at 18% containment, displacing over 100,000 people.
Flames and
Jesus
the ash
Christ.
was falling, and it was just hard to
The
breathe.
numbers on this situation are
Firefighters making some progress here in the last 24 hours, in part due to some lower temperatures after several days of extreme heat, but still concerns that strong winds could help spread flames here, Rebecca.
All right, this one's from 6 hours
declaring
ago.
a state of emergency in Los Angeles and San
So
Bernardino
the latest
counties.
updates
Take a look, as
are
three
nearly the
major
latest
fires are
updates?
destroying homes,
Almost.
scorching more than 100,000 acres.
Gusty winds that were blowing wildfires out of control will finally begin to calm down later today. And ABC's Melissa
my God.
Adon is in San Bernardino County.
That- did you
with the
see that?
latest on those fire conditions.
Please pause. Go back. Did you see that? It's just this thing's just hanging. There's no more pole. It's just the top of it, just hanging from the
Calm
wires.
down later today. And ABC's Melissa Adon is in San Bernardino County with the latest on those fire conditions.
A state of emergency for several Southern California counties after 3 major wildfires burned more than 100,000 acres across 4 counties. In the mountains of Los Angeles and San Bernardino counties, the Bridge Fire has scorched more than 50,000 acres, the largest active wildfire in California.
It was pretty scary. It's a lot more surreal than you can realize. When you're outside looking at the flames, you don't realize how scary and how chaotic it is.
More than 30 homes were destroyed by the Bridge Fire, including this one. You can see what was.
I wish we could get this guy. I wish we could talk to this guy. I feel like I only have one question for him. How much Joe Rogan would you say that you watch? And actually, I would have a follow-up question, which is, how much elk is in your diet?
More than 30 homes were destroyed by the Bridge Fire, including this one. You can see what was their kitchen and oven, some cabinets there incinerated. In Riverside County, the fast-moving airport fire forcing more than 19,000 people to quickly evacuate.
We packed up the kids and got out of there. Not a couple hours later, we heard our house was just leveled.
In the mountains, an ominous picture, the line fire turning the sky orange as firefighters make progress on the firefight after a break from an intense heat wave.
Flames and the ash was falling, and it was just hard to breathe.
Authorities arrest.
Yeah, if you're unaware, leading up to this, I mean, Southern California was in just a ridiculous heat wave, 115 degrees, and I think it was Death Valley, but still, it was 110 degrees right next to it near Los Angeles, where all this is going down.
A 34-year-old man suspected of starting the line fire.
I can assure the public that we're
Yeah,
going to go hard on this
I
case.
still can't believe that
We're going
fucking
to
guy
be
did that
resolute on
shit.
this case, and again, it's a developing situation that we hope does not get any
Allegedly.
The National Guard is working to assist first responders as more than 100,000 people have been displaced from their homes. This as fire crews work to contain those flames. Melissa Adon, ABC News, San Bernardino County, California.
All right, I think we have one more. This is from 3 hours ago. This is the most recent update on the fires.
Now to the raging wildfires that are burning all across Southern California. The bridge fire near Wrightwood is the largest and most damaging fire, with dozens of homes lost. The airport fire that began in the OC is now threatening homes in Lake Elsinore. And there's the line fire near Running Springs. That's torched nearly 38,000 acres.
And we are learning new details about how investigators tracked down the man charged with starting the massive line fire in San Bernardino County.
At least one home was lost in the destructive fire. KTLA's Shelby Nelson is live in Running Springs with the latest details for us. Shelby.
Sure, Micah, we heard from officials earlier, and one interesting part of that was San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dykes saying that this suspected arson for the line fire possibly used a signature MO to start this fire, and they're going to be looking into whether he could be linked to other potential fires. Now, before we show you our story, I just want to show you what it looks like here in Running Springs, the devastation. This one home is completely destroyed. The chimney is really all that's left. And then if you take a look off into the distance, on the other side, there's a hill that we have seen for several hours now smoldering, but you can see the flames that just started to flare up over there right now. It's dangerously close to one home. To the left of those flames, there is retardant, so hopefully that will prevent it from reaching the home or expanding at all. But again, we've seen firefighters out here working to put out hot spots like what we saw across the way right here. I can tell you what's in.
Okay, I think that's good enough on this one. For whatever reason in my head, this one was a update on all three fires, not just the one. But as you can see, the line fire is now at 37,000 plus acres and 18% contained, which is an increase from 5. Of course, they did have the benefit of the lowest temperatures in the area, as it relates to these fires, at least. It's good to see my Nightbot auto commands working. Although I feel like they're working too well. I need to turn them down. They're happening too much. Like, I appreciate them happening without me having to prompt them, but they're happening too much now. I should be able to see 2 of them on the same screen. That's not acceptable. It's too much self-promoting.
Do you know what we're here for? Equal parts. Oh my gosh.
Illegal.